why landlords are in much bigger trouble than they actually realize. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. As a California licensed real estate agent in a red-hot, euphoric Southern California market, I've been living in the Wild West. It has been a complete dogfight out here to work in real estate. Euphoria to its highest levels, drink the real estate punch like never seen before, and we are now in a propped up, government-stimulated housing market that has clear warning signs of a potential correction, recession, or possible depression. So before we get into this red-hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you guys to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and hit the bell icon so you're notified when future videos come out. Thank you very much. All right, folks, so let's go ahead and unpack some very, very, very big stuff right now. So here's the deal. As we all know, the eviction bans continue to get pushed out. And the reality of why this is so very, very, very harmful to property owners is almost half of all rental properties are ran by mom and pop level owners. And so one of the things that's really hard because of these owners just don't have the ability to weather a big storm as maybe a big real estate company who owns rental complexes do. And not to say that they're not suffering as well. The mom and pops, I believe, are the ones that are really feeling the pain the most. And why this is so very unfortunate for them is because now, see, when this program initially was initiated, it was to help the health pandemic, to keep people from hopefully spreading the virus. But you see, now it's much more than that. It's become a very politicized situation. And government officials do not want to be the ones that pull the plug on this because, I mean, put yourself in their position. If you're the government official that decides that you're going to be the one to initiate the end of the eviction ban, and potentially a lot of people you're just going to be you're going to have a target on your back. It was your fault that these people are suffering. I mean, it's such a politicized environment that we live in. So it's become much more than a health driven scenario. It's really a politically driven scenario. And so it's kind of sad because these landlords that have been potentially handcuffed by non-paying tenants are paying the price because of a politicized situation that this is now turned into. Now, that's one. Number two, the other big reason that let's put yourself, or if you're in this situation, if you own rental property and your tenants aren't paying and you cannot evict, and the best you can do is go to your bank and say, I need a mortgage forbearance, which is not helping you. You know, when you go to the bank asking for a mortgage forbearance, while they are supposedly not able to use that against you, it certainly doesn't help you. You're now on their radar, if I had to guess, as a potential at-risk mortgage because you're getting behind in payments. You were the unlucky landlord to have a tenant not paying. So what's really, and there's already, I guess, a lot of lawsuits being filed against the government on behalf of these landlords because what the CDC did is they overstepped their boundaries on going ahead and initiating this longer. So the real insult to injury is this. Let's say a couple months ago, in the height of the euphoria, when properties were selling off at over asking price numbers at astronomical levels, and you happen to have some investment property and you would like nothing more than just to go to market now and cash out that equity and insulate yourself with some cash rather than, be real estate heavy. This was the perfect time for these landlords to be able to sell. And every day, week, month, now years, we're approaching years, go by is a day their properties are losing value. So had they been able to sell a few months ago, they could have got an extreme amount of money for their property, and they can't. And it's not fair. If I wanted to sell my rental property and I couldn't, and every day that goes by, I'm watching the market not only soften, but eventually could, by the time I'm able to get my tenant out, what if there's a full-blown correction? That could cost you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, because the government forced you to basically give free rent. And guess what, folks? The reality is that there just can't be free rent forever. It's something that's not realistic. It's not realistic. So that's really how the landlords, I believe, in my humble opinion, are being screwed at the moment. Is one, some politician is using them as their scapegoat, because here's the thing. This is what the government's probably going to do. It's going to be the evil landlord. As soon as what they're trying to do, the government, in my opinion, is they're positioning themselves. So when the eviction ban ends, and so nobody points the finger at them, they want the finger to be pointed at the landlord. Well, we offered these landlords, rent money. They could have helped their tenants achieve that, back rent money and get caught up, and they chose to evict. It's those landlords' fault, because they don't want to be the one to jeopardize their political career by being the one tied to the eviction ban ending and having some economic blowback or fallout from that. And it's pretty much the landlords are getting screwed, it's upside down and sideways, because they can't collect rents, can't evict their tenants. Then the government doesn't want to take responsibility. They're going to push it onto the landlords, and then by the time, if and when they can go to market, the market will have dropped in value. They wouldn't have gotten the amount of money they could have got had they been able to go to market when they wanted to. And so that's really the bottom line, in my opinion, of why this eviction ban is really, the landlords are suffering the most. And again, in America, we've always taken care of our neediest. These people have plenty of resources available to them. Unfortunately, I get it. When you're already behind the eight ball, and you're going to have to dig your way out of this hole. You're going to have to get out there and fight and claw your way back, into society. This isn't going to be easy for a lot of people. Now, having lived through the last housing bubble and know what it's like to have to let go of a house and then figure things out, even with a family, all I can tell you is this is a make or break moment for you. This is the time for you to really set some new goals and be willing to do whatever it takes. I always say the only way to succeed in life is to be goal-oriented, earn your wealth, level-headed mentality. And again, that's why I came to YouTube and started sounding the alarm, because it just was kind of bizarre to me to see when we have the most bizarre situation going on in recent history, and people just really ignoring the fact that we have some clear and present dangers in the form of these fiscal cliffs to race out and spend money and ignore these very relevant facts that we're facing. This is really the time to wait, in my opinion. You guys know I'm waiting on the sidelines. I know many of you are, and plenty of my customers are as well. And again, there's buying opportunity out there right now if in fact you are very, very wealthy or cash heavy or insulated. You just don't want to spend all your money to get into top dollar real estate and then have no cash reserves, where a blip in your income or the economy could throw you into a tailspin, and now you just lost all that money and you're dragging a depreciated asset along. Again, the government is doing its best to pass the buck, and the money printer cannot stop. We've got a runaway train, and we don't know how to get it back to the station. It is out of control right now. And the mainstream media is going to continue to spin their narrative to have it line up with how the government wants it spun. Believe me, they are all controlled by somebody else. They are not free to report as freely as they would like, in my opinion. They all have a narrative and they all have directives from higher ups and big offices. And these news anchors are just reporting whatever script they are given. Very few of them are free thinkers, in my opinion. There is some good ones out there. So that is really just, I just wanted to come on a temperature check as somebody who feels like they have their thumb on the pulse of the industry. My personal take as a real estate guy of what I currently see, why the eviction ban is not ending, is purely because politically driven, not health driven anymore. And these landlords, the longer they can't get their property back, the more they suffer, because by the time they can go to market, there's a good chance that the prices will have dropped and they wouldn't have been able to get the money they could have had they been free to go ahead and sell these properties. So I don't know, man, we just got to continue to keep our eye on the economy and watch these programs end. Again, that's what, it's all we need to do, folks, is wait for mortgage forbearance, eviction bans, foreclosure bans, and unemployment benefits, and this money printer to stop printing. And then we're going to get a very accurate description of what exactly is going on and how the markets are going to respond. Again, if they ended them all right now at once, it would be catastrophic. Make no mistake about it. There's no way we could sustain ending all those programs. The inventory would flood in, landslide, almost guaranteed. And then the herd mentality would jump on board, and just regular people would start dumping properties too, because it'd be the thing to do. Just like we saw in the buyer euphoria, people just start to rush out and buy because it just seemed like the thing to do. That's what I saw in the last real estate bubble. That's why I continue to sound the alarm. So, congratulations to everybody who's stuck with the channel, who continues to support the channel. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, and leave a comment below. Great, man, you guys are so awesome. I've got to tell you, I can't tell you how awesome it is to see some of your posts. It's really just, I'm shocked and blown away and grateful. So thank you for that. Go out and make it count today. We'll see you on the next video.